Hi, cat. Come and get some mango, baby.
One, two, 1, 2, 3. Self-awareness is a superpower. My name is KathyLaDonna. Welcome to Soul and Vibration. I hope the free thinkers are doing well. And if you're not doing well, I'm happy to remind you that you are the most powerful person that you know. You are the most powerful person that you know because only you can create your reality. Hey guys, today is Sunday, December 22nd, and the energies in the day adds up or reduce to number 6 vibration. And today is your birthday. Happy birthday. So I forgot yesterday to mention that the sun did enter into Capricorn. So today's Sunday, ruled by the sun. With the sun in Capricorn, we're within a season where, so the sun is our identity, who we identify as, and it's the father energy, it's masculine energy. And of course, you know, the moon is the mother, but we're focusing on the sun because it's Sunday. And with the sun in Capricorn, with us entering into this Capricorn season, we are entering into a season where we can easily find ourselves feeling a bit overwhelmed at times, overwhelmed because Capricorn energy having to do with the 10th house and the top of the zodiac wheel brings me to the thought of ambition, legacy, and other people's opinion. Other people's opinion, not that other people are actually thinking about you, but other people's opinion where you might be worrying about what they're thinking about you, not realizing that they're busy thinking about themselves and what you're thinking about them or what the world's thinking about them, or everybody is within themselves thinking about themselves while thinking what other people are thinking about them, which is so self-absorbed when you think about it. But with the sun in Capricorn, this is where a lot of us could find ourselves feeling bummed out because, you know, when it comes to your 10th house and the 10th house, imagine this mountain and you're supposed to be on top of it and everybody is looking up at you. And it's like when they look up at you, do they see you as some kind of a loser, some kind of a failure, or they see you as a successful person, a winner, someone who's winning at life and just making things happen, someone who's making their family proud? Like, I feel like when we get into this season of energy, this could really be triggering for a lot of people, as it could make some people start questioning like their life, where they are in their life, what they've achieved and whatnot. I feel like this energy can even encourage certain people to make ridiculous investments in the name of saying that I made it, I'm a success, like based on my age and my gender and this and that, like I'm actually doing well. So I feel like this could be an energy that could encourage people to go into debt or just make certain decisions, not based on what it is that you want for yourself, but make a decision based on insecurities and insecurities, not feeling significant or enough, or even to make decisions based on obligation to your family. It's like, what does my family think about me? What does my family think about where I'm at, or peers or whatnot? So with the sun entering into Capricorn, I also think of, you know, this is a time when, like I said, a lot of us are reflecting on who we are in the world and what makes us winners in the world in the eyes of the people, of everyone looking up at us. But don't forget, ain't nobody looking up at you or thinking about you. And if they are, it's in relation to themselves. And also too, when it comes to this energy, I think of like, say those of us who have ventured on different paths, on different journeys that are untraditional, unorthodox. I feel like stepping into this energy, this could make you question the path that you're on and question if you should go back to something from the past, or question if you should pursue something else. And in your mind, there might be justified reasons why to pursue something else. It might be money, where you're doing something that you love and it doesn't pay amazing, but you're able to make ends meet. Where I feel like with this energy, it'll say you need more money because you should have a better car, you should have a better home. You know, with Mercury and Sag and the Sun in Capricorn, it's time to go back to school because like you need to get the title of this, that, and the next. And it's like, but wait a minute, why do I all of a sudden feel motivated to do that when I hate the idea? I don't even really want that. So I feel like, you know, stepping into this energy, stepping into this season while the Sun is in Capricorn, it's important not to allow yourself to get bummed out, depressed, and feel low because you don't see yourself in a position that's admirable to your peers, your family, and whoever you think is looking up at you. Like, newsflash, they might be looking at you, but they're thinking about themselves. And if they're thinking about you, they're thinking about themselves in relations to you for the most part. So, you know, don't waste your time and get lost into what other people are thinking about you. Like, it doesn't matter, and it's none of your business. And that clicking, like if that didn't click for me, there's no way I would have been here on YouTube. Because even sometimes I'll get into a state and I think of me being on YouTube creating content and I'm thinking that's so ridiculous. Like, I can't even believe people like click on the videos and be watching. Like, what the heck? Like, there's that critical side of me that thinks of, you know, that the critical side that takes myself way too serious. And it's like, don't allow for that energy to get the best of you. It's like, if I didn't get that in check, there's no way I would have been here with, you know, been here so long continuing to create content, because, you know, that energy will constantly make me wonder, what will people say? You know, what will people say? And my biggest fear and concern in the beginning was for people to think that how would I put it? My biggest fears and concerns in the beginning were for people to think that that I don't believe in God because I am into astrology, numerology, and tarot. To think that I'm into negative things that hurt people, when absolutely not. But I had to get to the point where just because I don't share their faith and believe what they believe doesn't mean, like, it doesn't matter what they think. However they see me is their problem and a reflection of the limitations within their mind, and has absolutely nothing to do with me. It took me a while to get to that. But then I also feel like, you know, like I said in a recent video, I feel like we have access to our ancestors' thoughts and our ancestors' memories and experiences, but also memories and experiences that we've had. And I personally believe that, you know, when it comes to, say, society not agreeing with you in the whole witch hunt thing, I feel like that's a memory that I have. So, you know, me being almost paralyzed in place, traumatized in my paralyzed within my mind, and not wanting to be seen speaking about things that I'm speaking about now, astrology, numerology, tarot. Like, it felt like I've had an experience where they were serious consequences for this. Like, there's no other way I can explain the intense emotions, you know, that I had to get over in order to be transparent about my interests. And I don't know how much more transparent I could get, you know, with publicly, like, you know, astrology, numerology, tarot. And that's because I grew up in a religious community. I had to go to church every Sunday, and that wasn't something that I saw other people doing. So it felt like I was stepping so far, so far away from what I was used to growing up. And for a while, I felt like I was doing something wrong, because I've shared with you guys how many times I've thrown away tarot cards in the beginning. I think I threw away at least 4 or 5 decks, because I might have a deck and something silly happens in my life and I'm chopping it up to the deck, thinking, oh, it's because of this or that, where over time I had to learn my mind is way more powerful than I even fathomed. And I say my mind is more powerful than I even fathomed because the mind has the ability to link things together even when that's not the case. And to me, what's dangerous is an intuitive person that doesn't know of their ability to make those links. Meaning, a person could be intuitive about certain things and correct. And then there could be other things that, other triggers or fears or other things they got going on within them. And because they lack awareness within themselves, something can happen and they chop it up to, oh, I had a conversation with this person, and then after the conversation, this or that happened. So they must have put a spell on me or this on me or that on me. And it's like, it could get dangerous. But I drifted off to say, when it comes to say the sun entering into Capricorn and just dealing with this energy, you want to be patient with yourself. The energies in today adds up and reduce a number 6 vibration. The number 6 energy, similar to Capricorn energy, deals with the material realm, and it also is an energy that deals with success. But this is where we have to ask ourselves, where did my definition of success come from? Did it come from me, or was it something that was told to me? Like, did I get it from a movie? Did I get it from my family? Did I get it from my friends? Where did it come from? And you can tell when it's not yours as you achieve things and feel absolutely nothing. You could tell that, that wasn't my definition of success. I bought into something. When it comes to the spirit guidance, we have the horse. And with the horse coming out, the horse energy brings me to change. And it brings me to freedom. But in the reversal position, I feel like my hands are tied, or like I feel restricted. Like it's like a restriction when it comes to freedom. And I feel like when it comes to today's energy, the restriction pertaining to freedom is a restriction that we're putting on ourselves because of how something should be. It's like, say society says at this point you should have this, that, or the next. Or better yet, today's energy will bring me to the thought of someone saying, well, whenever I lose a certain amount of weight, like I'm going to be happy. That's when my life starts, when I lose this weight. Or my life starts when I get engaged. My life starts when I buy this house. My life starts when I buy this car. My life starts when I get that luxury apartment. It's that, I need this thing to complete me. And once I get it, like when I lose this weight, or when I get this car, when I get this house, like that's when my life starts. And I feel like when it comes to today's energy, we're putting shackles around our feet as we're making things, determine how free we are, as we're making things like define who we are. When it comes to the tarot, we have the Star card in the reversal position. The Star card in the reversal position is also an energy that deals with restriction and being stuck for me. The Star card deals with the number 8 energy, and the number 8 deals with systems and cycles. In the reversal position, I think of being stuck in a system or a cycle that doesn't work. So being stuck in a system or cycle that doesn't work could be the person that hates the job or whatnot. And it's like, okay, you've made a change by deciding to go back to school, but you're still going back to school for something that you don't truly enjoy. So it's a matter of time before you end up back in that same cycle, hating what you do and then doing it all over again. Or the person that, the relationship ends, there was never no reflection or accountability. So then the same thing keeps happening. Or the friendship ends, there was no reflection or accountability. So the same thing keeps happening with other people. And instead of saying, what's my role in it? It's like, well, people are just crazy. People are just a mess. People are just this. People are just that. When really, we have a role in everything. So to me, that's the Star card in the reversal position, being stuck in a cycle and not being able to see a way out, because the Star card comes after the Tower. When I think of the Tower energy, I think of like, something falls apart. But if we didn't learn the lesson from the fall apart, then it's just a matter of time before things fall apart again and continue falling apart. And then we find ourselves saying we hate it here. Like I don't know. We find ourselves saying we hate life. We hate this. We hate everything, but taking accountability for our role in the thing. That's a real thing. Like our role actually exists when it comes to things. And when we can't see our role in a thing, then we're not victorious, and we don't we don't step into our power. We're, you know, if we don't see our role, then that means other people are responsible. So then, like children, we got to wait for them to come around and decide to treat us better or be different or whatnot, opposed to taking responsible for our role and making big changes that can only come from us. Today, though, is a day where, we know some of us could be really critical, really sensitive. Really critical, really sensitive. There's big emphasis today on family, romance, friendship, connection. But today's energy feels very sacrificial, where it's like we're sacrificing ourselves for what might seem like the greater good. And it's like, no, don't sacrifice yourself for that. Sacrificing yourself for what might seem like the greater good is someone that might say, I know that's not the path that I want, but I know so-and-so would really want it for me. And it's like, I don't think so, because if that person wasn't operating from a place of fear, they would want you to want what makes you happy. They would want you to be happy. But then, and I say a place of fear for a reason, because a lot of the times the people we love will push us into certain directions, and it's because based on their understanding or their view from where they're sitting in the room, that might be the safest route. And because they're coming from a place of fear, they want you to be safe. So they'll, push you and encourage you to go what they know to be the safest route, even if they don't have any personal experience in that thing, and they're just going by what other people show them or make them think. And I think of, like, say, a certain celebrities where we might see them, or influencers or whatnot. You see them on a regular basis and you assume that they're doing way better than they are, or they have way more than they have. And then you aspire for that. And then you eventually get there and probably feel like something's wrong with you because you don't have this or you don't have that, or this ain't working and that ain't working. Where only if someone would tell you the truth and let you know that that was never the case for them either. They were just good at, pretending something is what it isn't. So a lot of the times our family might look up to certain people and not see the truth of what's happening with that person and want that for us, when they don't know what we're getting ourselves into. Or sometimes we do that. We look at other people and we fantasize about what's happening with them and think we want that for ourselves, only to find out like what we were seeing and their realities were two totally different things. So when it comes to today's energy brings me to getting unstuck, and we unstuck ourselves based off our definitions of success. Like, what is your definition of success, and where did it come from? Like, did it come from you, or were you influenced? Because with today's energy, you'll know if you're influenced because you feel stuck. So that didn't come from you. And you're stuck in this cycle that you want to get out of, but you don't know how to get out of. And to me, first, we have to recognize the fears as to why we choose to stay stuck in certain things and the false benefits that we see within these things. But today is one of those days where it is really important to avoid social media. If you are not within, if you don't feel completely like yourself, today's one of those days where we'll find ourselves in social environments, but easily feel triggered or affected as something might come up that makes you question like yourself, makes you question, yourself as a person. It's like, why don't I have this, or why don't I have that? And it's like you've done so much already, but for whatever reason, today's one of those days where it will be hard to see. It will be hard to see how far you've gotten. So when it comes to a day like this, days like these help me to redefine the word success for myself. And for me, true success is spiritual and emotional growth. So this is where I reflect, and it's like, how much am I growing spiritually? Just recently I was reflecting on how much I've grown, and you got to reflect on that yourself. Whereas like I was having a conversation, and within the conversation, I could tell that the person We didn't see things the same way, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. The old me would have went out of my way to kind of like pour it down your throat so they could taste it too. And it felt so good to take a step back and realize, based on how they're responding, we're not seeing it the same way. We probably never will, and that's okay. So let's bring back the conversation to what we could both relate or resonate with. And for me, it's like, wow, I've grown so much, because the old insecure me would have the old insecure me would have needed them to know my take on it. The old insecure me needed to be validated that I wasn't wrong. But then it had to click for me over time that I can't be wrong for my own opinion or experience when it comes to a thing. Can't be wrong for your own experience. So yeah, today is one of those days where you want to be kind to yourself. You want to be more patient with yourself. And today is one of those days where you want to catch yourself while you're sleepwalking. You want to wake yourself up in the sleepwalk. And to me, waking yourself up in the sleepwalk will look like you unconsciously or consciously, because if it's unconscious, you won't recognize your actions. You might just recognize the patterns or what you feel. But you wake yourself up in the sleepwalk by recognizing how you might be comparing yourself. And you might not even notice that you're comparing yourself. You might just notice that all of a sudden you feel awful, or you don't, your emotions, something about your feelings shift. And it's like, why do I feel like this? Where did this come from? Came from the comparison. So I feel like today is one of those days where catch yourself in the sleepwalk, take your power back and step out of these cycles that were presented to us. And they weren't intended for us to thrive. These cycles were meant to keep us in a loop, like prisoners within this loop. And it's like you step out of the loop by recognizing that the cycle doesn't work, and you create a new cycle. And you can't create a new cycle until you're aware of the fact that the one that you're in don't work. You become aware of the triggers that throw you into the cycle. And from observation and becoming a student of yourself, you shift things and create new cycles for yourself. It was a pleasure sharing this message with you. I would love to know how you resonate if you care to share. If not, that's okay. Instead, please let me know you're here with me by dropping me a white heart in the comment box below. I would love to hear from you and look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Love yourself as if your life depended on it, because it does. Take care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.